Good afternoon, you're watching our lunchtime news here on TV1 with me, Deshan Gonavala. We've got the very latest from here at home and around the world lined up for you today. But first, let's have a look at your headlines. Today marks the 4th anniversary of the infamous bond auction on the 27th of February 2015. Several protests staged opposite the CBSL. 270 complaints lodged against Facebook during the past 2 months. Pakistan troops shell Indian posts in Jammu and Kashmir's Uri sector. Now in your lead story this afternoon, the National Freedom Front held a silent demonstration opposite the central bank today in line with the completion of 4 years since the bond scam took place.
The protest was organised by the media spokesperson of the National Freedom Front, Mohammad Muzammil. Even after a presidential commission has provided a report regarding this scam that was carried out by the Prime Minister, the Cabinet and the former Governor of the Central Bank, all this has been made silent. The rogues have received bail, the rogues are travelling overseas. What will be the decision of the government regarding these rogues? Arrest them as soon as possible, do justice to the 21 million people in the country, confiscate their personal property and do justice to the people.
Now, the biggest financial scam to take place in the history of this country is the central bank bond scam. Let's now have a short look back on this tragic circumstance.
Today marks the 4th anniversary of the country's biggest financial fraud, the central bank bond scam. 4 years ago, the central bank announced that 30-year treasury bonds of ₹1 billion were to be issued. Then Governor Arjuna Mahendran decided at the end of the auction process to increase the value of this transaction from 1 billion to 20 billion rupees. Amidst protests of central bank officials, that sum was halved to 10 billion. A large portion of those bonds were acquired by the Perpetual Treasuries Group at a high interest rate. The Bank of Ceylon, who are also primary dealers, also made bids on behalf of Perpetual Treasuries. The Prime Minister appoints the Pitipana Committee to investigate the matter. The committee concludes that Arjuna Mahendran is innocent. When all this is exposed by the media, the Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe makes a statement in Parliament on the 17th of March 2015 on the issue of changing of the bond issuing process. Then Speaker Chamal Rajapaksa advises the COPE Committee Chairman at the time, Mr. Dewganasekara, to begin a COPE Committee investigation into the matter. The day before the submission of the finding of that COPE Committee was due, the Parliament was dissolved on the 26th of June 2015. It is later revealed that a statement made by Arjuna Mahendran under oath to the same COPE Committee admitted that he was carrying out the instructions of the Prime Minister. Another COPE Committee investigation began under the new Parliament under the chairmanship of Sunil Handunetti. On the 29th and 30th of March 2016, 2 more controversial bond transactions takes place. The Governor of the Central Bank is the same, Arjuna Mahendran. October 2016, COPE report filed by UNP MPs, complete with footnotes. January 27, 2017, under mounting public pressure, President Sirisena appoints a presidential commission to investigate the issuance of bonds by the central bank. December 30, 2017, following 11 months of investigation, that report is presented to President Sirisena. The President forwards it to the Attorney General's Department. The main facts brought to light before the Commission included Arjuna Mahendran had provided information to Perpetual Treasuries with malicious intent. Arjuna Aloysius, who is the son-in-law of Arjuna Mahendran, had used his links to get information that had caused losses to state institutions. Perpetual Treasuries has made extremely large profits in the process. Ravi Karunanayake, accused of bribery, loses the finance portfolio. Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, P. Samarasiri, and Arjuna Mahendran reported to have given incorrect information to Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. The Commission's main advice included that a forensic audit must be carried out on all transactions of perpetual treasuries. The law must be enforced on all those responsible for the losses. However, although notices had been issued on Arjuna Mahendran, it is found that he is currently hiding in Singapore, with the Sri Lankan government unable to find him. Kasunpali Sena and Arjuna Aloysius, who were remanded for 10 months, have also been released on bail. Ranil Wickremesinghe still occupies the position of Prime Minister. 4 years have passed since the biggest financial scandal in this country's history. The authorities have failed to punish those responsible. For your attention.
Now moving on from that bond recap, veteran politician and UPFA parliamentarian Vidura Wickramanayake convened a media briefing yesterday. We didn't know that Ranil Wickremesinghe is this politically bankrupt. A few days ago, the central bank governor stated that we recorded our lowest growth rate in 17 years last year. Now he will say the political crisis was the issue. They broke into the central bank. Now where is that money? They are lying, saying that they will bring these criminals and these drug dealers to the country. His friend, the former governor, is in Singapore. It is a shame. The people thought that you were not a thief, but you are a massive thief. Now, the working committee of the United National Party met earlier this morning.
The meeting was chaired by Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe at Sirikota, the party headquarters. The meeting convened around 10:30 this morning. Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Minister Sajith Premadasa, and several other ministers and MPs attended the meeting.
Now in your political news, the Primary Education Centre and the Technical Laboratory of the Debokkawa College in Weerakettiya was declared open yesterday. The buildings were declared open by the General Secretary of the UPFA, Mahinda Amaravira. Now school children are addicted to drugs, with schools becoming sales centres. This was an urban issue in the past, but I am happy. I am thankful that the President of this country, as the Minister in charge of the police, has given absolute freedom to the officers to punish those responsible, disregarding position. Ranjan Ramanayake says something every week or month. I won't say what he says is 100% lies. There is some truth, but that general statement is not right. Anyway, it is now being taken to court. The charge of contempt of court is not completely wrong. When you look at some of the actions, it is justified. Now, the prefect investiture ceremony of the Alhamra School in Beruwala was held yesterday. The event was held under the patronage of the Governor of the Western Province, Azad Sali.
Ranjan Ramanayake went to court, came out and said that a female who is in parliament uses narcotics. In addition, he goes to the Prime Minister and says that the Prime Minister has appointed a committee regarding this, and a member of the committee too is using narcotic substances. If this is the situation in the legislature of the country, if there are drug addicts in the parliament, then we must consider the situation of the children of this country. What I ask is that this problem be resolved. If these people resign, the country will have a future. None of these cases will be swept under the carpet. The people responsible for the bond scam should be arrested. The people who are drug addicts, the people who are clearing containers illegally are being arrested. No one is there to intervene and stop this from happening like in the past.
We'll be right back after this short commercial break.
The bond scam completes 4 years. Do they think we are deaf, blind, or stupid? The big thief out in the open.
Now in your local news, it is reported that underworld kingpin Markandure Madush and others who are in remand custody in Dubai will remain remanded for a period of another month. Attorney-at-law Shabdika Vellapilli, who is representing singers Amal Pereira and his son Nadimal Pereira, who are also in remand custody with Markandure Madush, said the duo will be produced before court tomorrow. According to Vellapilli, the order will be issued after a request submitted in this regard will be considered by the Chief Prosecutor of Dubai. He further noted that the final report called by Dubai police to confirm whether Amal Pereira and Nadimal Pereira were under the influence of narcotics at the time of arrest is yet to be issued. If they are confirmed to have used narcotics, they will be imprisoned for 3 years with a fine of 10,000 dirhams. Now in more news, 3 suspects in the Dambulla area have been arrested due to a fraud conducted using credit cards. 13 Visa credit cards belonging to several banks in the suspects' possession. Police further stated that there are several cases filed against the suspects in the Maravilla, Kandy, Mathara, Gaul, Mathugama, Dambulla and Kuliyapitiya courts. The arrested have been identified as residents of Chilau. They will be produced before the Dambulla Magistrate Court today. Now, the Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team has stated that 270 Facebook-related complaints have been made in the 2 months of the year completed so far. 170 of the 270 complaints were made in the month of January. IT engineer of the Sri Lanka Computer Emergency Readiness Team, Ravindumigas Mulla, states that most of the complaints have been filed are in relation to fake accounts. He stated that stern action will be taken against all wrongdoers. Now, wild elephants have caused great inconvenience to the residents of Thamadeweva in Talawa, Anuradhapura, for a period of over 15 years. Most villagers rely on agriculture as their livelihood. These people, who work to meet their daily expenses, have faced more trouble over the last week due to these elephants. Around 10 acres of land used for cultivation have been destroyed by these elephants. This is the state of their lands. So far, up to 6 people have lost their lives over the years due to the wild elephant issue. Now, a raid was carried out on a stock of cultivated cannabis in the Havannarava area in Kotiyagala in Monaragala yesterday. The raid was carried out based on a tip-off received by the intelligence unit of the Atimale police. The cultivation of cannabis was tactfully carried out in a 6-acre farm. The police stated that the stock of cannabis is worth around Rs 150,000. A 22-year-old has been arrested in connection with the incident. The suspect will be produced before the Siamalanduwa Magistrates Court today. We'll be right back. You're watching News First.
Ever in ruin and disuse for years, now transformed through unity. The restoration of the Mahapalugaswava in Mahava Kurunegala, another successful V-Force initiative. Gammatha V-Force, harnessing the strength of a nation.
Gammatha V-Force.
Well, that's a wrap of your lunchtime news for this afternoon. It's been a pleasure having you. You can stay tuned to more of the very latest on our Live at 55 bulletins at the turn of every hour. And in the meantime, you can also check out our award-winning website www.newsfirst.lk. For the Newsfirst team, I've been Deshan Gonawala. Good day.